lot of parents think, oh my gosh, like this sucks. Like my kid's the shortest, they're slowing down, they're not as strong as some of the other girls. And it's like, no, just wait it out because in the end, they usually are more successful. Is that correct based on the research?
I don't know that the research says that they're more successful, but I think what happened was some of, the one of Gladwell's book when he talked about the percentage of NHL players born in January and so forth. I think if all parents and coaches have to do to spin it when they're communicating with kids and with families is early developers can be robbed of things. And I think everybody talks about them in relative age as they're so lucky, they won the lottery. This is so great. But as a sports parent, to say, hey, I actually think you're at an advantage not being because you want to be in the chase and you don't want to peak at age 10. You don't want to peak at age 7. And I have 3 kids and they're all kind of different in terms of if they're early or late developers. And I'm just trying to spin it good for all of them. So we don't want anyone walking around if they're privileged enough to get to play to play sport to think that like the world's against them. So let's just stay positive here and let's frame it in a way. You're an early developer, you have a unique opportunity if you stay hungry and you stay disciplined to continue to develop and who knows where that, who knows, and keep adjusting goals accordingly. If you're a late developer, isn't it fun to be in that chase? Isn't that fun to build resilience? Isn't that fun to feel so empowered? Isn't that fun? You get to continue to develop your skills. So I think that both can be just fine. And I think the narrative has been early developers and relative age lottery winners are so fortunate. And I'm just saying that I don't think it's a negative if your child's a late developer or doesn't have that high relative age compared to their peers chronologically. I feel like it's the messaging from the parents and from the coaches how we can help them all to feel just fine where they are and also hungry to develop.
Yeah, I think the onus is really big on the coaches too, and I've seen this a lot with late developers. The team coach will kind of do that end of the year evaluation, and in the physical section, they're like, "You need to work on your speed," and I'm like, "Well, genetically and where they're at in their journey right now, like they can't really control much compared to the other girls. You can still provide them some speed training, some great variety, keep the speed training fun, but it's also like I feel presenting it that way can be challenging because parents are like, "Oh, they're the slow kid on the team."
I know. And that's where this comparative culture is so challenging. One thing that I would love for coaches is don't over reward the fast kid because you don't want to stunt their skill development. And I'd always say to coaches, don't drool over the fast kid and look over the more skilled kid because that skilled kid, if they're not fast, they probably had to put in 3 times the time to get that skill than other kids, right? Because you're not just like a late developer in one area. You're not super skilled and slow genetically. You're typically you win the lottery or you don't, right? So it's like, how can you put the same amount of positivity on each and understand that a team needs both? And obviously, we're talking a little more team sport here, but regardless of what that is, look to see, yes, you got natural talent, but that kid may not have any work ethic. So celebrate, be happy for them with the natural ability, and then say to them, hey, you got this. You need to really up this ante. And say to someone else, look, maybe you didn't win the lottery in speed, but your mentality and your discipline, wow, like no one's going to count you out wanted to know that. So I feel like, you see these things online. It drives me absolutely insane that, if you work hard, this will all happen for you. Not necessarily. Like at some level in high performance, you need both. It's why I competed at the national or the provincial level, but wasn't quite good enough for the national level, right? So it's like, what's At some point, you're gonna need it all, so let's help them all to gather it all and not over reward the kids who genetically are fast. I've never seen the super skilled kid be over rewarded compared to a super fast kid.
Yes.
I just
I
haven't seen,
haven't either. Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
um, and
And
they're
I
gonna get faster and stronger because if they're wired to get so skilled, they're wired to someone's guiding them in the right way, I guess. Yeah.